Welcome back to the Dark Reading News Desk at Black Cat USA. Terry Sweeney here with Dark Reading, and I'm glad to welcome to the dais Curt Aubley, Chief Operating Officer and Chief Product Officer with Deepwatch. Curt, thanks for joining us on the Dark Reading News Desk.
And Terry, thanks for having me.
We have a lot of ground to cover: cyber resilience, managed detection and response. Deepwatch itself talks a lot about cyber resilience. This is a term that's very much in the ether. But we've also had a lot of headlines recently that sort of underscore that theme. Talk about how recent events have maybe reshaped the messaging around cyber resilience.
You know, when I think about cyber resilience, I think about how long Deepwatch has been around for about 7 years. We're a managed cyber provider. And when we work with our customers and we plan and strategize with them, one thing is very clear: cyber attacks will happen, but you need to be able to have the ability to fight through them.
Okay.
And cyber being, the traditional confidentiality, integrity, and availability, CIA, sometimes people forget it's the A part, right? And that's the important part about cyber resilience, meaning, can you withstand a cyber attack that maybe degrades your ability to run your business or your mission if you're in a government entity? And when you can prevent, detect, and respond, and recover, and still be able to operate your business, now you're becoming resilient.
Speedy recovery is really what it's all about, yeah?
Absolutely. And sometimes that recovery is one portion of your business, but can you sustain and operate your business while you're recovering those areas that have been degraded?
Fair enough. How does the consolidation in the SIM space impact how you work with customers and just the kinds of features that Deepwatch may offer going forward?
Yeah, we're SIM experts, but the expertise isn't really about SIMs. It's about helping our customers get to the cyber outcomes they want so they can be resilient. And that's across anything that's important to them. So I think a few years ago, the traditional thinking of an MDR was, hey, just send me all my data, I'll put some magic sauce over it, some, AI, whatever it is, and hey, we'll do an analysis and we'll send you some homework. I think the whole market now has significantly changed, and we're seeing that in very product perspective with SIMs. The SIM market, 20 years old. There's a lot of value in SIMs, but they're hard. So you go to a third party, perhaps an MDR or consultant. Now we're seeing the move to cloud native SIMs. SIMs are tightly integrated with those EDR products, someone like a CrowdStrike or others. That tight integration breaks many SIMs. They can't handle that high volume of data. So what's happened, we're seeing consolidation to a smaller number of players in the market. Now, we take an open security data architecture approach. So we always bring the best of the best with our IP and our partners' IPs to help our customers. So when I see that consolidation, what we see is a lot of customers being kind of abandoned because the SIM they were relying on is now kind of going away. They don't have the R&D and others. So I think we're going to see a lot of consolidation in the market where customers need to transition not just to a new SIM, but maybe to a new platform and get rid of some of those point tools and run that journey.
Sure. Well, so from your perspective, with customers who may be on the fence about SIM versus a managed detection and response service, from your perspective, what's the single biggest differentiator between those two options?
It seems to change based on the customer. Some customers have the size of a company to invest all the engineering, the architecture work, to have their own SIM and everything else they need around that, engineering, architecture, operations.
Okay.
Now, others don't really have that. And then we see a mix. So I don't think it's usually a one or another type of an option.
Okay.
It's more of what outcomes can you achieve, and have you been able to optimize your cyber spend. Even though security gets a lot more money than they have in the past, it's not unlimited. So people are starting to wonder, hey, you got 120 tools, you bought 2 more, is it really helping?
Is it possible that these two solutions could be complementary in some applications?
Absolutely. There are companies that say, hey, I know, pick your leading SIM, Splunk, which is a top Magic Quadrant, or CrowdStrike Next Gen SIM, or Chronicle. They're spending millions of dollars in R&D. You could go with an MDR provider that's, well, proprietary, closed. Maybe they have a $30 or $50 million budget
Right.
to build a SIM competitor or an XDR competitor. Or with what we do, we take a very open approach. We take the best that the industry has, and then we put our technology around it so that you don't have to make a choice of this or that. You get to bring the best together.
Is this complementary approach often driven by governance or compliance laws that just require, I guess, extra bulletproofing for infrastructure?
So sometimes there's a little confusion around compliance and cybersecurity. They're not really the same thing.
Right.
So what we are seeing in the market when we work with our customers, we believe there's a great value in the SIM and XDR capability, but let's shape that data, let's optimize the data that's going in there so you're putting the right data into that technology to help you with the people and the process to get to the outcomes you're looking for. But a lot of those compliance and other pieces, what we're seeing is, like we introduced on Tuesday, cyber data lake technology. So now we can put the right cyber data into the right place for the right objective. So SIM, XDR, we'll move cyber data there to get to that cyber outcomes. Maybe you have compliance. You need to keep things for 1, 3, 5, 10 years cost effectively. That's where moving into our cyber data lake, hey, that's fantastic. You have those retrospective hunting, supply chain attacks, investigations for compliance, but it's something that is a lot more cost effective or optimize your cyber spend so that you're not putting it all into a super high performance, AI driven SIM and XDR system and in data that you're not going to use on a regular basis.
Talk about some of the other capabilities that you're bringing to expand customers' capabilities this year.
We are so focused on our customers, but at the same time, our intelligence and hunt teams are constantly understanding what's happening in the world from a threat perspective, different adversaries around the world. So working with our customers, what we heard is, hey, we want some more technology options. You know, maybe they have CrowdStrike Next Gen SIM, maybe they have Splunk, maybe they have Microsoft Sentinel, maybe they have Chronicle. Hey, that's great. We can use any of those. Each one has its pros and cons. But now we're also seeing we need deeper AI for enterprise, cloud, firewall management. Yes, that's still out there. Identity. 68% of all attacks are now using identity. But it's just not getting a deeper knowledge of AI for that investigation and bringing everything together. It's also a coordinated, active response so that you can isolate, we start to remediate, we learn more, we might want to isolate and remediate identities, firewall, a much more layered defense from an active response because generally speaking, our customers don't want the homework.
Sure. API-based automated responses are pretty much a must in managed
Absolutely.
detection and response. Talk about how Deepwatch differentiates itself here.
Yeah, it's interesting because every customer is a little different. So we have our standard solutions, but we can tailor to each customer's needs. Not everybody has full trust in automation and AI. I know that's a shocker.
That's hard to
And
believe.
as assets get more valuable, well then the amount of automation confidence kind of goes down a little bit. So I think one of the things we do a little differently is we focus on the customer. We integrate closely with the customer's processes, the customer's workflows, their decisions, so we can make the recommendations, and then in real time they can tell us, well, yes, Curt, do a coordinated active response, both a combination maybe API-based, but also some human-based across all of the areas that a customer may have to protect, say it's cloud, identity, and their enterprise.
Excellent. Curt, take us out. Deepwatch has unveiled some security modules as part of the Deepwatch platform. Real briefly, can you just tell us what customers can expect there?
You said that last piece just again?
Sure. What are some of the features of the security modules that customers can expect in the coming year?
Appreciate the ask here. So yes, Tuesday morning, we've partnered closely with Splunk and other partners for quite a while. We changed our architecture and platform to be able to be open, and this week we launched 8 new product modules with our top 2 alliance partners, Cribble and CrowdStrike. So what does this mean to a customer? Like, why would you do this? Well, first, we have our cyber data management module that allows customers to optimize what's going into their SIM, saves them a lot of money, but really that opens up the ability to increase their coverage. So they don't really save money on the SIM as much as improving their coverage so they can have better cyber response.
Great stuff.
Cyber data lake, cloud computing, identity, enterprise, much broader and modular set of capabilities. Why? It's because what our customers are asking for.
Curt, I want to thank you for coming on Dark Reading News Desk. It's a different way to think about managed detection and response. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank you for having the time and have a wonderful day.
We've been talking with Curt Aubley of Deepwatch. This has been Terry Sweeney for the Dark Reading News Desk. Thanks for joining us for this segment.